Coogs house. The AP polls are out, and the Houston Cougars men's basketball program starts the season right where they finished last one, number 2 in America.
You are Locked On Cougs, your daily podcast on the Houston Cougars, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome to Locked On Cougs, a podcast about your Houston Cougars. And this bonus episode of Locked On Cougs is brought to you by Game Time, best place to get live tickets at the lowest prices, guaranteed. You're going to get some basketball tickets this year because the Houston Cougars are the number 2 team in America in the preseason poll. Now, it is football season. We're in the heart of it. We're looking to get bowl eligible this weekend, so football content is out as well. But the AP poll dropped Monday, and I couldn't not talk to you about it. That's English language. It's late at night, folks, but I can't not be excited about Houston Cougar basketball. Going to Big 12 Media Days for that in a week or so. Excited. Got to watch the team a little bit at a coach's clinic and practice and all that kind of stuff. And like, so excited about Houston and the Big 12, frankly, and the good showing they had in this poll. And I had to say, there was part of me that was ecstatic that Houston got the number 2 spot. Why? The number 1 spot is got a little bit of a curse to it, a jinx to it, a hijinks to it. It's been Kansas, it's been Purdue, it's been a number of teams that have something weird happen to them late in the season. It feels like a bust of sorts. I mean, Kansas has had kind of their falling off points the last couple of years, but the last number 1 seed to win the entire thing at the end of the year was the 2009 North Carolina Tar Heels, the 2008-2009 season North Carolina Tar Heels. And that feels like a long time ago in college basketball terms. And so I frankly am almost happy that Houston did not make that. Now, full disclosure, I feel like a big part of that is people splitting hairs between a couple of teams here and understanding that Purdue is playing a theoretical Final Four championship game in their own backyard that is Indianapolis. It is a more of their backyard than San Antonio is Houston's, for what it's worth, after seeing Houston show up so much last year in San Antonio. But I see this as, frankly, indicative of some of that. I also think it's worth pointing out that Houston is number 1 in KenPom and most database analytics, not voting polls. The AP top 25 or top 5 rounds out with Purdue, then our Houston Cougars, Florida, UConn, and then weirdly St. John's. I think St. John's is a little bit. I probably would have had them in my own top 10. I don't know if I'd had them 5th. Duke, Michigan comes in 6, 7. Then BYU, Kentucky, and Texas Tech round out your top 10. The big deal for the Big 12 here is there were 6 Big 12 schools in that top 25. There's all 6 are actually in the top 20. Houston will play each of them this season, and that is exciting as well. Kansas came in at 19th. Iowa State came in at 16th. You also had Arizona at 13. I mentioned Tech at 10 and BYU at 8. You also, for what's worth, have like Gonzaga on your schedule there at 20. Tennessee is a team that you're going to see in Las Vegas at the Players Era thing. They're coming in at number 18. Some great options. Another handful of Players Era teams you might see in the 3rd game of that tournament or midseason, whatever, as well. Lots to look forward to at this one. What's fascinating about this is that Houston returned so much of their roster from last season, right? 3 starters, a lot of the depth. But after losing Arsenal of the Portal, who was in your rotation last year down the stretch, after losing longtime Houston Cougar Juwan Roberts to Europe. He's playing the pros over in Europe right now. I'm frankly killing it for what it's worth. And losing LJ Cryer, who just signed a deal with the Golden State Warriors. You're feeling like people are not looking at those as nearly as big of losses, and they're going to keep Houston number 2. That is obviously in large part due to the incredible freshman class you got coming in. Chris Cenac is a projected top 10 pick in next year's NBA draft. Kingston, Fleming, Isiah, Harwell, both top 20 recruits in the 2025 class. Bryce Jackson was in the running for the Houston area men's basketball player of the year award last year. He's like the unheralded guy, right? He's in the running for like the best player of the city. He's the unheralded guy. That's what that is. Now, obviously, that award went to Sheldon Henderson, who's off of Miami now, but neither here nor there. I look at this and think it's interesting on all those fronts, though, because like people are not jaded to think that. I think it's also showing that people understand like this Houston Cougar thing is going to last past any player coming through. It stayed after Quentin Grimes left. It stayed after Marcus Sasser left. It stayed after Jamal Shed left. It just doesn't go away. Now, what I do think is going to be interesting is going to be Houston's got so many teams on their schedule in this top 20 that let's just be honest. I mean, they can't go 19-1 in the Big 12 because they don't play 20 games anymore. But a one-loss Big 12 season doesn't seem real. I mean, you had a couple close wins last year. It's just like, can you pull off a miracle in Fog Allen again? Crazy almost lost to UCF early in the year. And if you ask staff members about it, they'll talk about that UCF win as like once they hit down, they kind of knew they had something good culturally going because they could all breathe a sigh of relief after that one and the way they finished it and that kind of stuff. I can't get a beat on who's going to start at the freshman this year as far as where each guy is going to go, but I do feel like you're going to see a lot of early toying and building of that culture and that confidence early in the season. Honestly, after watching them practice a little bit, and I won't go into. I mean, I don't want to betray too many comments. I feel like right now it might be Kingston, as weird as it sounds. I know that Isiah is probably the better positional fit. Mercy is a guy that's been there for a second. Kingston looks so good, man. And I mean, it's mostly defensively. And we know that Sampson values that a lot, but like Kingston is already adjusting the coverages and is already able to flip hips and turn and keep out of the paint and do so many of the things just in a way that like it's a wise beyond his years kind of thing to watch him play basketball in the Houston Cougar defense. And I'm excited to see it in live action pretty soon. He'll make mistakes. He's a freshman, but it's impressive to see. Frankly, I think that you're also seeing like some impressive big guy play out of Khalifa Sacco and Said Lot. Jojo Tugler had the injury the start of the offseason, and he is, I think still projected to get into all the games this season. Not that he's going to miss the start of the year or anything like that. We obviously get to watch the preseason exhibition game against Mississippi State very soon, and Lehigh, and then Auburn, number 20 ranked Auburn. After that, now Auburn start off in the first, polls. They weren't AP polls, but before their coaching change was up more like in the top 10 range, and they dropped down to 20th with the coaching change. Didn't have any roster changes, so I think that's probably why they stayed in the top 25, but interesting nonetheless. Now, Houston at the number 2 spot does dodge a lot of the proverbial curses of being number 1 in preseason. They don't dodge the target on their back. You don't dodge that when you're number 2 seed in America. They're still going to get everyone's best shot. Frankly, I think other teams and programs, namely that one in Lubbock, are kind of tired of Houston saying they run the Big 12 because they have for 2 years. And so I think that your home and home with those Texas Tech Red Raiders is going to be bloodbath kind of basketball, the best kind of bloodbath kind of basketball. It's going to be awesome to watch, awesome to see. And I can't wait to break more of it down with you as we go. Houston Cougars, number 2 team in America, breaking things down as more unfolds. As we get closer and closer to the season, we'll be previewing it as well. Got to get bowl eligible this weekend of football. So got to do that along the way. Locked On Cougs, primarily Locked On podcast. Now we need your team every day. Go Cougs.